OBS was the issue. OBS was giving me problems. But back live. This is Nate Millett, DigiFX. Here at DigiFX, here to give you another round of Magic Leap development using Unity, Unreal, and some other fun stuff. We're still focusing on the Unity stuff right now. Last time we talked, I had to import, or I was in the process of exporting some stuff from my mobile stuff so that I can reuse the assets for the Magic Leap headset. Light pack, whatever you want to call it here. Here's the Magic Leap. It is tethered to my computer, and we are about to start developing on it. So I learned a few things in that little bit of time and just like trying to fix things, and that is OBS is causing a lot of the issues, and the best thing you can do is press this little button up here and hide it, and that will help your performance. It's still gonna bog it down, and then I can just look at my they also have a I forget they have that button I can use. What is that called? View, multi-view, right? That's what I can use. But see, that seems to close it, unfortunately. Alright, well, I was going to try to use the multi-view thing, but apparently I can't minimize OBS, which is what I want to do. So I just won't use it unless I have to. So we'll let this open up real quick, and then we'll get back into developing with the Magic Leap here. Make an escape room level. And it should take a second. I should have opened it before I started streaming, because apparently the OBS just hogs all stuff that matters here. Okay, I also want to make sure I pause my syncing here. Should be this tough, but it is for me. Okay. So weird, it runs fine when I'm not running the OBS, but as soon as I run the OBS, it just won't open up. Right. But I'm going to let it load this time, like it should, because I'm not going to stop my stream again. So we're going to have to wait it out together, people. Okay, so we're going to take a couple more seconds for us to get where we need to be. It's just a pretty small collaborate file here. There's only a few hundred megs, so it shouldn't take that long. And in front of us here, you see we had left the deep sea level here, and last time we checked, I had imported a bunch of stuff. So what I want to do is the same thing with our Sky Island, because the next step I really wanted to take is I wanted to save this for later, because I wasn't really sure how I was going to transition from the beach into that. Versus the Sky Island, I was going to use a beanstalk that grows in front of us, and then we can crawl up to the sky all in mixed reality. That's because I have a beanstalk for my level here that I had in my mobile. So this should be done in a second. I swear it. But what we do, let's get some let's do some let's get some escape room ideas. What do you say? Do I have Safari open anymore? I don't. Okay, so let's just create that. I'll say escape room ideas. I think the streaming is actually going to get worse because everybody's getting home and is going to start using internet. Alright, so we're going to do a little brainstorming together here. And I don't know if I can actually share the actual puzzle pieces because then everybody will know the answers to the puzzle. But we have to think about ways to be creative about hiding stuff here. Now we've all done and played escape rooms, but let's just read through these real quick while we wait for our Unity here to do its business. All right, and it's actually done. No, it's almost done. See how it's now it's collaborating. So we're almost open up to our Unity. Hide important objects. Well, that's pretty obvious. So that means the stuff that we need to proceed will be hidden and engage people in teamwork. Now, just thinking out loud here, what's cool about Magic Leap ML, what's it called? TK, it's called. What's cool about this is that they actually have this something that I want to do with this that allows multiple headsets to sync up and see the same scene. And so this is exactly where the puzzle, the escape room comes into play with an immersive environment here. With this cool example, I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. Two people can be working on the same stuff in an app. This is Bob here. He's the guy that, I don't know how high up he is in Magic Leap, but he's created all these videos for us. So the transmission mode, I believe this is him and his wife here. They're both syncing into the stuff here. It's pretty cool because then we can use this same kind of technology to engage more than one person in our Magic Leap experience here. So this is something we're going to build into the level after we get everything in place. And yeah, this is one of the many tools that they provide here. And the developer portal here is pretty good on information. I found a lot of information I really need besides that in Unity to build here. And I just started looking into it for Unreal stuff here. But yeah, these are the tools we're using. We're using the hand input I showed you earlier, which I'll show you again. And then along with, we'll use a controller input, keep in front I'm using, and then the ramp lighting we're using here. And some of these other things are just play space I haven't used, but it's basically we can draw out and then create an environment. Okay, so this is done. It's just about done. My senses told me it would be. So now we can actually start working finally. Thank God. Okay, so I find that if you don't maximize it, sometimes you can't click the right layers. So I just end up maximizing stuff when possible. Now, before we actually import that other thing that the Sky Island, I'll just look and see what we brought in terms of the fish, 3D characters, packs. Now we should add the prefabs that we didn't have before. Good, we do. And so these are textured and they're animated. And all we have to worry about now is just kind of making them wander and do what they need to do. And you see this guy's got a cool animation on him. And I don't really want to play it just because it'll take too much time to play it. So we'll just go ahead and just save those for later. Just look at what's going on here. Doesn't have a texture, obviously, so what's interesting is that So it just seems like that's just dark. I'm not really sure why there's no texture showing there. But that ramp thing is supposed to fix that. So it might just be, it looks like it's really dark. Yeah, so somewhere along here there's there's supposed to be a light globe that's supposed to illuminate everything, but I think it was in this. These are using different scripting. I used a lot of third-party stuff on these, so these are not going to work for us. We have to reanimate them. And I'm actually trying to simplify these as I go. So if the shark has the animation, which it does, I'll just bring this out and I'll delete a lot of this stuff. Well, a lot of this is relevant, but these triggers and these other things are for the game itself to like collect stuff, and I don't think we're going to use them in this, at least not in this way. But they are set up to animate. All they really need is a script to have them move here. So what I can do real quick is I can just, I won't do that. I'm going to focus on importing the other one. So let's go back to the original one that we need, which I think we're still on. So Magic Leap, AR imports. So here, we want to import our custom package. So I like working with music. Like I have some in the background now. I don't know if you can hear it, but it seems like when I broadcast with it, everything gets flagged and blocked partially, and you have to mute it. So I guess my question is there anything on Spotify that's like royalty free, or there's playlists we don't have to worry about that, where they just make them? If there isn't, they should have a section where you can just have music you can play that doesn't get flagged, and then you don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do that. I should get that out of my service through Spotify. Okay, so this shouldn't take that much time to decompress it. It's just reading the manifest here. And then we'll let this import. I gotta get careful with how much stuff I bring into one scene. But I don't think that's gonna cause the performance here in terms of the stream. It's just gonna cause a lack of performance on the device. Okay, when it goes away, that usually means that the window's hidden somewhere and you have to go find it. Oh, never mind, it's coming back. Never know. Just never know. Alright, so there's a different way to do it. In terms of broadcasting, just hiding the OBS. And I wonder what happens if I hide my Chrome. I don't know if that's better or not. Okay, so this is where you got to be careful when you're. You'll end up having to delete a bunch of stuff, and you can even ruin the build. But I'm not too worried here because I'm gonna go through every one of these. I only imported this in everything. I only imported all my folders I knew that weren't system folders, and I'm gonna go through each one of these and kind of single out the stuff I don't think I need here. So the ones I know I do want are probably everything Oasis related, and the Master Asset related, and the Magic Leap related, and I'll just do this one too. See, it's not, so this is see how it's not letting me choose that? Any scripts I don't want these scripts either. These are those scripts, operational scripts, ad managers. I definitely want the anchor, so that's important. So that one we want. That's in the beta. That's in a weird place. But you see how importing, it does, you kind of like collect things at different places, right? Like most production software, and because of that, you have to really make sure you don't miss things. So that's actually probably going to be pretty clean import there. And I shouldn't have any issues with stuff. So now that we have everything in place, we can start really building this out. And really, I think that's the biggest thing I've found with any kind of project I've gotten into, is that asset collection and management and setting it up to work is just as time consuming as building out the product itself. And it really makes sense to spend some quality time to organize and really know where everything needs to be in terms of like the texturing and the modeling and the placement. That's something I always try to focus on. And also this hierarchy here is so messed up, it's driving me crazy. A lot of this stuff I just pulled in, and I have some of my own stuff down here, but it's super disorganized, and I'm kind of embarrassed to even show it, but I just started bringing this stuff into it with the tools, so it's kind of, I'd rather just organize it in the end. Okay, so now we're importing our things we wanted to. And what's cool here is that we have a lot of NPCs that I had in the level that I'm all about the NPCs and the animated objects. I think that's really going to bring it to life. And stuff, little things like little butterflies or little bees buzzing around, and wind blowing and swaying, I think is going to fill the emptiness in like kind of just placing stuff in an empty space. The other thing that to note that in the end, when I actually showcase this, after we get this up in about, I want to say in about half an hour, I'll build out this and I'll share it on the Magic Leap through the stream so we can see it. Because unfortunately, you have to have a Magic Leap to experience this kind of stuff. So it's kind of a, I mean, the thing here, building in Unity, the power of Unity is that I can build this out, and there's a lot of different devices in our future that will probably be compatible with what I'm doing here. Even if it's not using Lumens, even if it's using a different OS, Unity kind of knows how to juggle everything around back and forth. And like I said, a lot of this stuff I'm pulling directly from my phone here. And so I believe they're both based off the same fundamental structure in terms of the operating systems too. Even Lumens is its own, so that's why it can play nice with some of the stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something of a challenge to get it from one place to another without having to redo all the work. And for me, I'm just trying to expand the resources or branch out in different ways. And also reuse what I already reused as much as possible. And a lot of the game logic, unfortunately, in my mobile platform will not suffice here. Only the scripts that are C# or JavaScripts that I can reuse. So if you're not familiar with my Oasis Live game, I know I showed this in the stream, but I might as well show it again. just because people may just be chiming in. I'll go ahead and show you Oasis Live for the mobile device.
Let's play Season 7.
So there you have it. That's the basic look of the app. So some of those NPCs in there we're pulling right now. In Plant Monster, we're actually, as we speak, we're importing that, which is one of those things you saw in there. So we'll be able to reuse those in our sky level and also create those, make those part of the escape, the island escape game. The thing is, I don't know if the NPCs are going to be more of a passive fun thing, or if we're actually going to make it. I kind of like the idea of making it more of a puzzle escape and not more of a adventure escape. So that means like the NPCs here are kind of going to be passive, just swimming around, a part of the environment. Maybe you'll be able to engage them on a level that the Magic Leap allows, so like putting your hands out. But I don't necessarily think they're going to be part of the questing, only because that's going to really, really complicate the overall build. And I want something to be, I want this to be more like an experience with some simple tools. So then I can focus more on building out to the controller with the tools I have for like fishing rods and butterfly nets and axe picks and stuff like that you can use in immersive space to gather stuff, to create something or build something, versus fighting off an animal, which is equally as cool. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe you'll have to get like a shark tooth or something. So all fun ideas to think about and also figure out how to do. But once you do it once, you usually can replicate it in a pretty straightforward fashion. And it's hard to remember every single little script, but the beauty about doing it, like having stuff everywhere, is you can just reuse it. So look, we should have a third little bubble here popping up, and it's pink only because the outside shell, at which looks like we got a few more things coming in here, but it's because the material of the item that I pulled has been lost, and that is quite alright with me. Okay, so it looks like we have a few materials missing here as well, so I will just prepare to bring this in here. And again, these are in here together temporarily. I think eventually we will separate them so that it's not going to be an issue for us. So this is the perfect development environment for me, having some music playing, casual, and if I can get this broadcast like stream live, I'm not only doing it just to share this, but it's also just reference to me if I have to go back and do something again someday or share this with somebody. So I like documenting everything I do because I do forget kind of how I set stuff up sometimes. And there's not one right way. There are better ways, and there are more, I would say, proven and more efficient ways to do things. And I'm definitely probably still learning ways of doing that in terms of game dev and writing scripts and efficiencies and all that stuff. And far from it, knowing it all. But I am getting better at it, which I'm excited about. So here we're just going to drop this one in here. But actually, I think before I do that, this is a big one. This is why it's really thinking before it does it. Let me just check this real quick. Okay, so I basically drop that in directly, and this one it looks a lot different because I built this in the new version here. So that's why they look different, but this one should look very similar. And unfortunately, I can't see a hierarchy until I drop it in, so let's just do it right there. So there should be a similar hierarchy to the one I just showed you. Yeah, and this one I actually imported the portal too, which in the mobile game there's a portal vision. So as you can see, all I did there was I just turned off and toggled off the other stuff. So now we have a different scene in our environment here. And so what I would usually do is I would just load this in if I needed it, but I wanted to save it out in separate scenes. And the only reason why I didn't do that was because we were having issues with the hand gesture not working. So what I think I want to do is I actually want to build this scene out alone like I did with the other one and see if I can get it to play. First, let's just rename it. Sky Island. And this one I'm just calling the beach. Alright, and I'll stack them in terms of their vertical position, elevation, I guess you'd call it. Alright, there we go. So we have a top, a middle, and a bottom level. And the thing is that what I want to do is I want it to obviously be like this to be above it, and you grow a beanstalk, and the beanstalk you crawl up to the top, right? Like your classic Jack and the beanstalk tail. And in order to get up there, you gotta find something to grow the beanstalk, and then to go down to the deep sea, there's a similar thing there. So we got some errors now, and I forgot to look there. We got a bunch of errors. Okay, so I forgot that I had to take a bunch of scripts out here. So let's go ahead and let's go through this real quick. It doesn't look like it's that bad. It's mostly just script folders, which always seems to happen. And again, this is why so I'll just delete everything until it's happy, and then we'll just have to recreate whatever it doesn't like. And it could be the version of Unity, it could be something to do with Magic Leap. Like there's ways to find out what the conflict is, but it's just easier to get rid of it, make everything play nice, find the materials for things that are lost, and then go from there. It's actually a lot harder usually than just importing these things and deleting stuff. Okay, so I don't know if that was it, but let me just try playing that one more time. It must have been that one little folder of master scripts. Nope, got some more. Okay. Alright. It's alright though, because all these things are just, they're just all related to systems, specifically to mobile. They're not affecting the Oasis stuff here. It's all the geolocation stuff that I'm releasing soon. Alright, so again, let's just keep on trying to play this until we can get this working here. Alright, we got one more. So unfortunately this one, the visual effects one, would be one that I would probably want to try to hold on to, because it probably I'm just trying to delete the minimal amount possible so I don't lose like assets that I can use. So this should have been like called Unity iPhone to Magic Leap migration. That's what I should have called this video. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm migrating stuff, but it's all part of the fun. So what's interesting here is that I didn't lose these, but I lost these. Why is that? And can I just reuse these? Sometimes it's as simple as just I think we have a winner now. I think it's gonna play for us. Got a weird shadow on my chin. Where's that coming from? It's coming from that light over there. Alright, looks like it's gonna work. It just has to think about all the new stuff I threw at it. And so now that we have that hopefully playing, we can start playing around with how we're gonna get these all to load from those screens I showed you. So I'm definitely not gonna have all 3 levels running at once in the scene. I think it's a recipe for catastrophe. I even think right now it's just not a good idea, but it's the easiest way for me to get everything into place, and then I can. What I would usually do is I would just save it out 3 ways and then delete the 3 different options, and that way the same system is all doing the same thing. So I know they're all working. But what was happening, like I said before, when I was opening a new scene, I was losing the logic aspects of the Magic Leap, and so I want to make sure I don't do that there. So what's interesting is that scripts seem to block, or they seem to compile stuff weird, and then once you delete them, it recompiles it, which I never really understood what it was doing because I'm not a developer for this kind of stuff, but I always find it interesting that like when you get rid of the nasty script, all the stuff you needed comes back and becomes available again. It's just funny how one little script can screw stuff up. It's almost done. So I do have a fun game I'm building in Unreal. It's a secret though. I can't tell anybody about it because it's a childhood game that I've been wanting. It's like something in my childhood, and I'm gonna create it in real life, and I want to make it AAA, like high end, like platform quality graphics and stuff. So that's something I would love to share right now with you guys about what my plan is for that. But the big thing is that I don't have my workstation up and running to start playing around with that kind of stuff. So I have my workstation right now. I need to rebuild it. The one I would use. I have some RAM right here that I use. This is about, what's this? It's not that. I mean, this is a little bit. It's DDR3. There's better RAM now, but I've had this for a while. So this is 32 gigs of RAM right there, and I have a nice graphic card. So I really wish I was using this to develop right now. I wish I could somehow plug this into my MacBook and be operating a lot better. Not to mention I can use my Oculus, my original Oculus for my stuff, but not yet. So something I'm working towards. Okay, so while I was yapping, we successfully loaded our level here. So let's just negotiate the area and see what we're looking at and see what's messed up, see what needs to be fixed. Alright, that's an error. I always see. So let's click on one of these and I'll forward momentum. Yeah, so they all have the same issues where they all lost their animation. And I wonder if that's just nav mesh. And so you can see this is actually a pretty complex level here that I'm using for this different stuff. So I would actually say, and the lighting is kind of funky here. So there's a lot more work to do on this level. I also realize, which I remember now, that in the Sky Island, I got the portal. Let's go ahead and turn this one off real quick. And then let's turn on the portal and let's zoom over to it. This is our monster that we were trying to bring in. He should be here. There he is, right there. You can't see him, but let me try to click on him. So I think realistically, this is a good size mixed reality level. And so I might actually start with this one and build off and do something cool with this, because this seems like a more realistic size and proportional value of what we should use. So what's this all about? Every time you get this random tree that just somehow was forgotten in the upload and it lost all its leaves. So okay, let's start with this top level. That's a pretty cool level here. It's a pretty cool monster. And I realize now that the complexity of the levels I want to build in the Magic League probably don't make sense. You know, I probably just want to keep it right front and center. Lots of stuff happening in front of you, because you're not going to be able to really walk towards all these places inside where you're going to see this stuff most of the time. Let me see if I can try to delete this bush here. But you can see how organized my levels here are. They're a lot more organized than the stuff I did here, so there is hope for something better. I don't know why. I don't know if this is a glitch or a broadcast thing, but it's not, when I click this, it's not selecting it in my hierarchy, which is annoying. It's all really annoying. Oh man, what the hell? Come on, how hard is it to find the freaking tree I want? Oh, there it is. They call it a bush. So I like, you can also see our portal here is a little bit messed up. It looks like it lost its proportional value, or I'm not really sure why it's sitting that way. So there's some stuff we have to clean up. If you look at the light here, that's a really cool light. So what I want to do is I kind of want to figure out where that's coming from and just steal that light that they have here. So it gives it a nice little blue glow. So we'll take a little bit from there. And luckily I have this named well enough to where, even though I'm not seeing where it's coming from, I can kind of guess based off the naming convention there. I wonder if this is the teleport receiver. No, that's the portal. Okay, so that's, see, I just wasn't looking in the right place. The teleport receiver is where you would land. Okay, so we know it's definitely not that. We know it's that. So in here somewhere, there's a sweet light on it. And there it is. It's that point light. And I forgot it's not going to let me take it out. I wish there was a way, Unity, if you're listening anything at any point in your life to this video, when I go like this, or when I mean, not when I do that, when I actually drag it out, instead of me saying open prefab and cancel, I wish there was a way to say unpack in this right here, so I can just do it and not have to go through this process. This is an extra step. If I do this a million times, I just want to be able to unpack it. So I don't want to have to unclick it, do this, unpack it, and then do that. It's just extra work. I just want to be able to drag it and override this. I'm glad there's a failsafe. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. I think. Okay, so we're going to get rid of everything that's going to give us trouble here. So that's going to give us a little bit of trouble. We'll get rid of that. I am going to decide to keep these icons for now in the game, even though they're not doing anything, because it doesn't seem to be hurting anything there. Our portal here is cool, but I don't know if it has a purpose. These rocks here need a basic. Oh, so this is where we're going to go in and let's go ahead and change these here. And by doing so, I lost it. But then I can go here and I can search for some kind of rock. Right? Sometimes you just need a rock. All right. Any one of these should work fine. The only thing is I don't know if I can. This has to be turned off. That's part of the issue. I don't want to delete this just yet, but I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is just going to save it out and get rid of it right now. Sometimes you just need a place to like stash stuff that you're going to. So I'll go into assets. It's just kind of a regular folder with random stuff for now. So if I can save out this prefab, I'll delete it. But it's not letting me for some reason. It's just the streaming stuff really messes with the computer. Oh, you know what? I know why it's doing that. It's because my friends, there's empty scripts on them. I forget how do I search for the empty scripts? So if you go here, every time, it won't let you save prefabs that have shit like this. So you have to go in here and that's a good thing. It means it helps you keep tidying up, and that's one of those things I actually think is a good thing. Fishing farm is another thing though. So again, I'm gonna get rid of shit I don't need. So there, we don't need that. I just don't want to delete stuff that I'm going to use later, like in terms of particles that we can use. All right, let's delete that. All right, and bush again. This script we probably could have reused because I wrote it myself. Instant boundaries high, low. We'll delete those later. All right, let's see if we can save it now. I don't think it's going to let me save it because I have so many scripts on the non-collectibles. Oh wait, there we go. That works. Booyah. Okay. Good. So let's get rid of this big bad boy. It's taking up a lot of space in our game here. And let's just focus on this. This is the only thing we really want, is this walkable receiver here. Or well, the second platform, I mean. Everything else is just like extra. Okay, we're just looking for the mesh. We're just looking to create some kind of mesh environment. Oh, but we lost our guy though. We don't want that. So, and this is, I forget, he's actually his own quest giver there, because he was a quest giver. Cool. So I think this is a lot more of a realistic starting point for this aspect of it, because then I can build off of this and I have the environment there and it's all in place. And I don't think anything here is important. Let's see what else comes on. So all we're toggling on is these are just triggers and fences that block the area until you do certain steps. That's all like gameplay, which I can reuse, but I'm just going to redo it. Otherwise, because I'm not using the system I was using there. Okay, so I think I'm in a good place in terms of stuff we want to use. I'm going to do the same thing with the ocean, though. I'm going to make it smaller and less stuff everywhere and make the environment around it more intriguing. I think this guy should be up here on this rock, only because it's kind of barren and it gives us room to move around here and kind of see him from afar. But I also want to check out these textures real quick. So what we'll do is we'll just save you out and we'll see what happens if I go magically texture. I like how it's the top click, but I hate how sometimes it just makes it look bad. And I don't know if there's a way to fix that. I guess I should build it out and see how it looks. See, this one probably is going to look really good, though. Oh, no, that's bad, too. What's going on here? What is this shader doing? It's like a magical shader. Oh, it's because that blue one, huh? It's that blue light. I forgot we had that. Where's that point light? That's a pretty cool blue light, though. I definitely want to keep it. There it is. It's right there. We'll call that blue light. What I would do if I was really being good is I would just call it a light and I would do in brackets an example. Alright, so that's right. This is turnable. And this should be actually called plants. Or objects or something. Alright, and then that's I just call this nav mesh. That's how I do it. Nav mesh, all caps. And if I have more than one, then I'll do a bracket, and then I'll just put in the like what kind it is. That way I can do it, but I'll just null it or void it. I like writing all caps because I know it's obnoxious, but it distinguishes what I created from what somebody else created if I take it from something. Alright, so quest giver, second platform. Alright, and let's call this plant monster. Okay, so one thing I want to get rid of are redundant game objects there. So like the second platform thing, I had that on to like toggle on something. It's not needed here. So let's make it nice and clean. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I guess I got some environment noises. What are these? These actually should only be on the beach. So this is why I'm kind of keeping it all on the same level, because I can organize the different assets and toggle them on, and then eventually we can just have them toggle on and separate them in the new level there. We'll see if the plant looks good there. I just want to try to build this out as is with our camera and see if it loads with all these things toggled off and see how it runs here. And I'll also, what is this all about? We'll ditch this scratch patch and dance track we'll put in the beach, but that's toggled off. That's like for the end. Alright, and main camera. And really I should just organize these better later. I'm just going to bring this all down here. That way I just can this is for my sanity, if there's any of that left. Okay, so, and then what I would probably do here is I would just add one more. Well, what I meant to do is these should be here. I don't know why I moved these. Let's keep these down here. I don't need this if there's only one camera. I'm trying to simplify here. Simplify the level. Then it'll be more, right. And I really just want to make this input and runtime. So there should also be a system here. So over here, and this, usually you want to put system stuff first and then all the other stuff, but because this is pretty small file, I think it's okay. There's some basic organization so we know where everything is. It goes a long way for us, and it also makes it so when I rebuild this out more. Okay, so this is, so input means, see, I just don't like all the terminology, but I know this is probably the right terminology. It's just not, here's how I think about it. So that's there. This is the actual stuff being laid on top of you, right? So I want these to be in the same place. So I don't know what they're going to be called, but I'm going to call these, I'm just going to call all this system, to be honest. That just sounds better to me. Then I know I don't touch it. System means I don't touch it, it just runs in my mind. It's a system I just leave alone. And managers I keep separate because I touch them a lot. Logic's another thing where, what is that doing? That's just more system stuff. Okay. I also like to make sure that they're stacked right. This should be under canvas. So maybe I'll just make this I'll just call this like the GUI or something. Maybe I'll just call it the user. Alright, and this will be managers. And even though there's only one, I'm going to definitely have a lot more managers here. There's going to be tons of them. So as we add stuff. So that's why I'm thinking about the future here. I'm not just thinking about, and I want this to be canvas. I don't want it to be something that I can't reference. Alright. So a few minutes of organizing goes a long way in the end for us. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So, or at least it looks better than what it was. So now we'll actually try to build this out and see what happens here. And I need to remember that I'm all on the same original level. I'm not actually separating the levels yet. So I think the best thing to do here is to just see if it works, see how it runs, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, that's not a good way to think, and I don't like thinking like that. I think sometimes things should just be updated. Otherwise, we have all boring stuff the rest of our lives. Okay. Oh yeah, I like this new feature, this no touch feature, by the way. Unity, way to go. Way to go. I've been asking for that. I've been thinking about that since whatever version I started using it. Like, why isn't there something that locks me from clicking this thing here? And that's what that does. So I locked everything out here, and now nothing's clickable. So I know I'm not going to screw stuff up, which is a must. I don't know why that's only here now, but that's like a must in my mind. So let's go ahead and before we save it out, let's go ahead and do a quick backup. Collab version. Collaborate is a paid service, and it also sometimes I found that I had to pay for more storage, so I think I spent about, I don't know, I want to say $20 a month or something for this. So it's not the cheapest thing compared to like using Google stuff, but it's a really good tool for the game development. So Oasis, before I do this, let me just see what I've named in terms of versions already. I think I'm up to 1.1. Come on, Unity, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk, Unity. Just being a jerk. Whenever a window snaps to the other side, it just turns into a big jerk on me. And then it's not until I get over here. Now it plays nice. So, okay, so here I did a version 1.1. And I know I tried a 1.1 where I added something and I actually reverted back. So I think that's correct. So 21.11.11. So we're on 1.0.2. That's what I'm going to do. So I used to just try to, when I was versioning it, when I was building all this stuff out, I would just keep it version 1.1.1 every single time. Just because I knew I was the only one working on it, and I knew the states it needed to be. And like now I would start versioning my mobile version like with numeric increments. But when I first started out, I just didn't think there was a standard I had set yet for being, you know, a version. So I kept on going 1.0.0, and it was fine because I never had to revert back. But I can imagine if you were like, oh, I remember in version 1 blah blah when this worked and now it doesn't 10 versions later, you'd want to go find that. And so this right here is worth the money you pay for it. Now it's uploading 800 new megabytes. That's probably all those fish, and it's probably all these assets we created. Keep that in mind. When you run the mobile version, you don't want it to be heavy with all this stuff. So you got to figure out ways to crunch these textures. And unfortunately, I don't think me importing them this way has the settings that I had with the mobile version saved. So these textures, which I had already optimized in my mobile build, probably need to be re-optimized or crunched or, you know, shrunken, whatever you want to say, so that they're not as heavy and they're not as obnoxiously taking all the space out. And, you know, the fact these are all standard shaders is another reason why it's probably running slow. So it's going to take me a good afternoon to fix all of those environments to get them where they need to be. But I'm eager to see how this stuff looks on the Magic Leap as is, like this guy animating in place, how he looks. And this little Venus monster, or this little plant monster, is a paid asset. I usually use the asset store, Sketchfab, Turbo Squid, Free 3D. to get a lot of my models. There's plenty of out there, but those are basically I think where a lot of people get stuff from. There are a lot of free, royalty-free stuff, and that's probably another big thing that I need to be better at is tracking and documenting all the assets I have in collection, and I just make sure that I document or source like where they were sourced from, so I can go back and something comes up sometime, I can say, hey, this is where I got this, and if it's a paid asset, like which is a super cool little plant monster, was worth the $10 I spent on it or whatever it was. You make sure that they know that's that's legitimately something that you're using in your game potentially, or your inexperience. So this plant monster, I believe I found in the asset store, and let's see if we can actually find it right here. New window, Unity asset store. But it could have been somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, I Google stuff I need, and I buy it from the first place that has what I'm looking for. There's a plant. Come on, buddy. All right, well, not the one I bought, but you can see there's a bunch of cool stuff up here. These are some pretty cool ones. $50 though. Whew. This is how much you play for a freaking game. That's the thing about these they're good, but you really got to throw down on quality assets. So there's not much here other than this one pick, but I'm pretty sure this person knows that they're badass and they don't have to put picks on there. And it looks pretty cool. These things are pretty legit. So hats off to this guy. Infinity PBR. I personally like the idea of modeling, texturing, animating, and rigging stuff. It just takes a lot of time, and I'd rather purchase it from somebody like this who does it really well, puts all the maps in place, and then I can focus more on the interaction, the gameplay, and the technology that kind of drives the experience. That, to me, I think is a better role for me. I don't personally think I can have the patience to. It's fun. I've done it, and I do it. I can do it. I've built, modeled plenty of stuff, but it's just in terms of building a small game, you try to spend more time on collecting the assets, and until you have a big studio and you're making tons of money in sales to where you can pay somebody to do it in-house. And I think that's where you get the exclusivity of it, and that makes it fun. So just waiting for this to finish before I start building it. We're almost there. We're at 75%. We will go ahead and build it on the Magic Leap. I will check it out. I will share it with you. Take a quick little break, and then we will continue working on this for about another hour, and then I'll switch gears into something else. I do want to try to build the 3 levels like I said, and I think I'm mostly just going to focus on the beanstalk animation to this level tonight, and then the sea and all other stuff I'll just have to stream at a later date, or maybe later tonight. Reason being is I want to play around with the other stuff and with the Magic Leap. I want to open up Unreal Engine, which I also have on here. It's Epic. It's Epic Game Launcher right here. And I want to play around with some of the Magic Leap stuff on there. Maybe we can build something really cool and quick out with the Magic Leap. I don't know how quick it's going to be though, because I've only really used VR and just regular. I've never used the Magic Leap on the Unreal engine as of yet. So it's gonna be something fun. It's gonna be something new and fresh, and you can watch me trip over my own words some more. So build settings, where are we at? Okay, so we'll want to change this just to the first one, right? And so what I think I'm going to do is actually have 4 scenes, and I'm going to have the screens I showed you in the beginning, and okay, so this is deep sea. I realized I imported this into the wrong one, but it's okay because I can just import in the other ones. So what we'll do now is we'll just save out these 3 as we did as prefabs, and then we'll just drop them into the right one because I want to be in the Oasis Island Escape, not the deep sea one for now, because that's the one that works with the hand gestures. So let's go ahead and just real quickly prefab these bad boys, hopefully. They're missing references. Okay, so it's because this guy's got some scripts on him probably that are missing here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, there it is. I kind of forget what that script was. It doesn't really matter, but okay, let's try it again. It should work now. Okay, let's do it again for our beach. Okay, well, even though I may not use this beach scene, I still want to try to, this one's going to be a pain in the butt, probably. Because there's a bunch of scripts on here that I probably messed up. Let's just go through this real quick. I know there's a way to sort out scripts, is there not? And you can just see the ones that are not. Oh, these all have scripts on them, I think. I don't know. I mean, everything has a script. So there's a way to see, or maybe it's in the. There's a way to see. You can search by name, maybe not by script. So we want to go. Oh, this is also important. This is the inventory canvas, which is why that's also kind of important there. We'll see if the deep sea will play nice real quick. Nope. Alright, let's go in here and figure out what we have to. This one shouldn't have too much problems. I keep on clicking that like it's a drop down, but it's just something I put in there. For the sake of getting this saved, I'm just going to okay, so that's the original nav mesh. Those are our bubbles. What could possibly have? Oh, this one probably. Yep, those are it. That's right. Yeah, these are like a school of fish. Those are no longer available in this build here. And these probably have missing scripts too. No, they don't. Let's try it out. Yeah, so I'm just deleting things that aren't really important. I'm just trying to save as much mesh as possible without wasting your time and my time right now. But I have all these triggers. I mean, it does tell you which ones are going off right here, so you can just click them and then it's just kind of a pain in the butt. I don't necessarily want to delete these items because I want to reuse these sharks. So that's why I'm trying just to save out whatever I can. There we go. All right. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3 there. So now let's handle the big one that is really gonna. So this one actually shouldn't be too hard. If you just go like this again, let me just see what it says. Seagulls. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Move. This one's gonna have the same one. Let's see what this one says. It's all seagull related. You know, we're just gonna get rid of the seagulls because they drive me nuts. I don't like them that much. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of. Ooh, you know what though? No, we don't want to get rid of this stuff. So I'm deleting the same script. It's for a visual scripting engine I use for all these things that isn't compatible from my understanding here. So that's unfortunately a downside to switching over to Lumens is I really wanted to use it. I can't use it. At least I don't think I can. But, woo! Alright, that's our third one. So now we can go in the original scene and build them out. Okay, so we're done. Build settings. Let's save that out for now. I'm also just creating a kiosk scene. What do we call it? Kiosk windows. It's the beginning, you know, where you're. I'm just adding that for my own reference. And I'll just disable that for now. I'll save it. Okay, so now we're in our area right here. So we saved this already. I'm not going to delete this one because this one I think is set up correctly. So I'm just going to add the other two that we need to add here. Alright, so in my island, yeah, that's right, assets. Let's add this one, and then the deep sea one here. And I'm not gonna enable the kiosk here. I'm just gonna like keep this one set up. I just want to see if it runs with everything in the scene here, because this is a pretty big level, the Sky Island one, even though I just used the little one. Okay, so where's our main camera exactly? Our main camera is where? And where's our Sky Island in reference to this? So an easy way to just have it is just you just go like this. You just parent it, and then here you're just gonna zero it out, and then you can kind of see where it is. So okay, so that's our main camera. And again, I think that's a bug when it does that, when it doesn't snap to the new thing you select. I think. It's hard to tell with like the broadcast. And my pivot seems to be off, or it seems to save it to where the camera is. So that's another thing that's kind of weird to me. So I'm just going to manually place this close to where it is. And so what sometimes is easier is just using the parameters to move it versus actually dragging it. I find that easier. I'm just going to try to place this where we think our person in immersive space would want to be when they land in this, or what they would find cool. So I think right now it's kind of in a weird place still. Yeah, it's still not where we want it to be, so. Like that. We want it up like that. Still floating way too high. Oh wait, not rotation. I'm gonna go Y. I don't want that either, apparently. Wireframe is another way to speed up stuff. But I think part of this is that in this, or somewhere, where am I? What am I doing? In the gizmos, why does it load when I click the gizmos thing? That's so stupid. Just open up the window. Very frustrating. Selection wires. Turn that off. Selection outline. Turn that off. 3 icons. Turn that off. Turn off the gizmo. So does that fix the it's not as bad because I don't have the selection wire on either. So, okay, so you see we're still really high there. So let's go ahead and let's just try to get our thing in place, and let's also see why this is there. That's more the level we want. There we go. Just gotta make it work. All right, let's try that. And then once we build that, we can kind of see, well, it's still not, and I did something when I rotated it. So let's undo whatever I did. I guess that rotation affected the shape of it. Can you see that it's changing the shape of it when I do that? Or is it not? Huh. All right. Okay, enough messing around. I'm gonna go ahead and build this. Okay, so pretty sure, yeah, that's what's cool, is that because I had it on standby, I don't have to return it on, it's just kind of like sleeping on me. So I have to get my pointer connected. What's going on, man? Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't want to be in Shutterstock anymore when I get out. Come on. What the hell are you doing? Keeps on disconnecting and connecting the controller here. Come on, Magic Leap. I don't know why it is, but whenever I do a live stream, all this hardware is just bonkers. Nothing works like it should. Okay. There we go. Okay, we started building. Let's see what happens. Alright, what does it say it's doing there? Is it building? I guess trying to build it. Got a Greek salad right here I'm gonna eat. Come on, Unity, build it, baby. Okay, so as soon as I unplugged it, it started reacting. So it was definitely had something to do with the computer and all the shit going on, just crapping out. So unfortunately, that means that this probably won't build for us. So let me it may build though. It may build because it doesn't really. Oh, there we go. Okay, so got a reaction. Something was unplugged. Okay, looks like we have some errors. Not a problem. So, let's see what we got going on here. So I believe the build slave is that it's not plugged in. I believe that's what that causes that issue. But I don't think I've successfully built on the stream today, so maybe I did screw something up in the importing at some point. But okay, why is the deep sea also on? It's just so slow. The fact that I can't toggle that off and on is a problem here. It's a big problem. Alright, well, I'm having issues with actually getting Unity to respond. So I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to build this out. I mean, I want to build it out and then end the stream, but it's just not working the way it is. The reason I want to build it out is not that there's anybody. It just has to do with the fact that I want to be able to reference this chunk. I don't know. This is annoying. Unity, what the hell are you waiting for? Why are you still loading? There's nothing to do. You're literally just sitting there, supposed to be idle. Very frustrating. Very frustrating for me to deal with this constantly. Come on, man. Alright, well, I just gotta wait. Because I don't want to close it, then I'll lose the... There we go. It's back. Okay. Okay, so it is off. Just didn't realize it. Okay, so let's try building to it one more time. Oh yeah. Okay, so you can see we got an error right away. And this is the little things that will stop it from building, but it's cool because it's like a small thing like that's easy to fix. So I kind of expected this to happen because I imported the new stuff and I deleted this last time. So I think it's just that one script that's causing all the problems here. So in the master assets, we don't even need any of this AR stuff we have here. It's this one that's causing all the problems. But that's why I like to build it out that way, because then I can just get rid of the stuff I don't need. I don't have to worry about stressing out down the road when there's so much more stuff in here. This is a pretty small project. I'm not sure what this compiler error is all about. That's something else. Give it a second to figure it out. Spicy. Woo! Wow. See, check it out, it's gone. But we're coming back. Alright, let's try it again. So, I'm not saying this is the best way. You can actually go through and determine which stuff's going to probably mess it up, but you may want to save some of these scripts to reuse. That's why if they're not hurting anything, it doesn't hurt to have them in the build. And usually, you'd find out right away if it's going to work, because it would just pop up or give you a warning, but because we're broadcasting, it just takes a while. So, Alright, well, we're starting to build, so it should work now. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch to Unreal stuff in a little bit. I don't want to do that before it gets too late. So, I'm going to let this build out. I'm going to check out the scene. Then we'll switch over the, come back in a little bit. We'll mess around with the Unreal side of it. Unreal side of Magic Leap, I mean. So here, and I'm hesitant to even launch this right now, but another thing to note, make sure you have the auto generate light off when you're doing this, otherwise it takes hours. Luckily it was saved from the last one. One place that's important in your hub, or the lab, I mean, is you gotta check to make sure that whatever system you're using is updated. So, let's go to Unreal. And another thing I gotta worry about is I'm running out of space on here. Alright, so I definitely want the examples. What's going on here? Yes. What else? I mean, these are all pretty small world. Just download them all. I think the icon creation for this is probably very similar. I'm just seeing if I can hear the music. Just seeing if I can hear the music. Just seeing if I can hear the music. We're almost done here. You'll be able to check out the scene. We're almost done here. You hear myself no video live. So I know this hasn't been the most productive stream. It seems like we're dealing with more technical errors than actually getting stuff done. And unfortunately, that's just the situation I'm in right now, trying to build this stuff out and use my MacBook. But I think once I get everything in place, maybe I can show you some interesting things here. If you go to stream.digistudios.live, there is a library of videos I add to a playlist of all my streams, and I'll point out, I'll share a lot of the interesting ones that may be something that you'd be interested in terms of your game development, or just kind of want to know more about the projects. As time goes, I'll separate them more, but you know, I think the more I stream, the better I get at it, and the easier it is to kind of share my work with the world. So, this is one of those waiting games. Alright, so these are almost done. These actually took longer than I thought. Okay, so once that's done, I will disconnect Unity and I will open up the Unreal stuff. So Unreal, their engine does a really good job of laying out what you're developing with up front. Unity has a good way of separating it from what I've seen, but you know, a lot of it just comes from documentation that you read online of how to get stuff done. I'm finding with Unreal, like when I did VR with Unreal, it was really easy. Just it took me 10 minutes to plug in an environment, get up and running with the tools they were using, the SDKs. So I'm hoping it's very similar with the Magic Leap stuff. And then find some use cases for it. Alright, let's go home here. I'll go ahead and just launch this for now. Epic. All right. So let me sign into my account here, and we'll start doing it. Start building with Epic. You know the bald spot. What do you know? Okay, so again, I have to be patient with this because last time it was just taking a while. So we'll let that build out. Also, I think I'll let my cat in for a second. Come on, little digger. It's okay. I just worry that my cat will scratch my green screen. Say hello. Say hello to the world. Woohoo. 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 Okay, you don't scratch that green screen, little girl. Alright, so we're just waiting for this to build out, and then we will go ahead and move over to the Epic side of things here. Epic Engine, the interface, the launcher here is a little bit different laid out. With Unity, you have your Epic, or your Unity hub here, right? And that kind of launches your different versions. And it really just launches the versions, that's about it. And unfortunately there's so much going on, I can't even show you that. But with this one, it's kind of built in. You have a little stuff, kind of everything's in one place. The marketplace and the engine itself is separate. And so it organizes stuff a little bit differently here. So I have some existing stuff that I recently downloaded, the latest version 4 here that we're going to use today with Magic Leap stuff. And then I have had some previous, this is something that I tested out the other day, just to see how it would work, which I'm not even going to save. It's just yeah. That was just a VR thing I was testing out, the new build here. But what we'll do is we'll launch a new 4.25 build, and we'll use the Magic Leap settings that they provide with us. And to be honest, I'm just going to dive into it and see what happens. And maybe we'll get lucky. But what I can do is I can take a lot of these assets here below us and I can import those into a scene similar to what we're doing with Unity. Although these are pre-made and the ones I built are kind of what I made from scratch. And these are a lot more AAA. The ones I made were mobile. So you're going to get a lot more quality in these things, but who knows if they're going to run on a Magic Leap. Who knows? Alright, well this is still building, and I'm hesitant to open up anything more until it builds out, so we're just going to be patient here. So what we can do is we can do a little research right here. And you can see the tools that are uniform are the controller input. So we're definitely going to be using the controller, not our hand gestures in this one. And that's probably because they haven't developed stuff for the engine yet. It seems like they were using Unity first, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's just a different way of doing it. So it's pretty straightforward, right? You just pick the one you want here. So we have the Magic Leap SDK in lab already, so we're done with that. Let's look at the Unreal setup and see what it says to do. Alright, yeah, a lot of this stuff's just the same old stuff, though. It's not even helpful to like set up. Are we there? Not yet. Still a little go. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to basically follow these steps right here. We even have a template for the Magic Leap. So I don't really have to read this. You just kind of open it up, replace the stuff they have, and then you go from there. There's probably some settings that you're going to have to abide by. So let's go ahead and try to see if we can get this working. I'd rather have this working and then just share the stream of it working and then us working on the actual the gameplay itself. You're using Epic Games Store build of Magic Leap Unreal Editor. you can use the Magic Loop template project when selecting a template project. Okay. Okay, so this is very, very good documentation. Basically, walks you through step by step. So instead of me remaking a video of this, I'm gonna actually get in the state and I'm gonna start importing. So I think what I'll do is I will stop the stream here. I will get this set up, and I will come back when everything's in place. Because it makes no sense to just follow the instructions they give you here when you can just read from the site directly. It's just a waste of your time and mine. So I will end the stream for now, and I will probably stream for a little bit later, either with this or something else. Probably more of the Unreal stuff once I get it set up. So it's Nate Mail from DigiFX. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll check you out later.